The city beautiful of Orlando has been at the center of the American soccer universe recently, and no different tonight as the USL season comes to a close for two Sunshine State rivals. The I-4 Derby renewed here at Orlando City Stadium, third and final meeting of the season between OCB and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Good evening and welcome, everybody. Alongside Oliver 12 Trees, I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks for joining us here for USL Soccer on USL Match Center. It's a showdown in O-Town. The I-4 Derby renewed. It's simple for OCB. They have to win and get some help from Red Bulls 2, Bethlehem Steel, and Cincinnati here on the weekend to make it into the playoffs. So Tampa Bay Rowdies can finish anywhere from 2nd to 5th and are playing for home games in the upcoming USL playoffs. Georgi Ristov has been a key player for them in the entire season here, Oliver. Yeah, the talented Bulgarian striker will be looking to add to his 12 goals and 4 assists on a team leading that he is leading from the front. Well, Lewis Neal is not the leading scorer for OCB, but he is the unquestioned leader of OCB. Yeah, he's had a fantastic this year as a captain of the OCB Lions here. He'll be looking to pull the strings from midfield like he has done all year, and even scored a couple of goals in his last 2 home games. 3 for the season for Lou. As we take a look at the starting 11s, first for the visitors, the Tampa Bay Rowdies on 50 points in third place coming into the night. Joe Cole, Marcel Schaefer, 2 players with Champions League experience. Certainly, they'll be in their familiar 4-2-3-1. Neil Collins, great header of the ball, be looking to lead that back line. Darnell get up and down the right flank. Christoph, Restrepo, and Guzzetti leading the line. OCB will counter with this. Fenlison back in goal. Lewis Neal, as we saw there, and how is this going to shape up for OCB tonight? Yeah, I think you're more likely to see Hadji Berry operating on the right-hand side, Pierre da Silva on the left, Cox down the middle, but a lot of fluidity in this attacking lineup with Tony Rocha as well, pulling strings in the center of the puck. 4 MLS first-team players for OCB tonight. It's Tampa Bay, Orlando City B, next on USL Match Center.
The pressure she must feel.
Getting set for kickoff here at Orlando City Stadium. It's Orlando City B getting set in the purple to attack left to right against the bestriped rivals, the green and gold of the Tampa Bay Rowdies here in their first season in USL. They've locked up a playoff spot, Oliver, and could secure as many as 2 home games should they continue to win throughout the playoffs, or none if they don't get a win tonight.
They certainly have the attacking prowess on show tonight. With Joe Cole playing in behind Christoph and Gonzatti, there's a lot of firepower out on the pitch there for the Rowdies.
Jonathan Belinsky is our referee. It is game on in Orlando. Regular season finale here in the United Soccer League for these two teams. Immediately into Michael Cox for OCB. And we played back as Neil Collins and Hunter Gorski, that center back pairing.
Yeah, I was watching Neil Collins in the warm-up. You know, he loves to header the football, that's for sure. You know, he's a great header of the ball, and he'll be looking to challenge every single ball that plays up to Cox.
Kevin Alston making his 12th start for OCB this season, the MLS first teamer. Been beset by injuries most of this year.
Yeah,
back to Timbo.
Made a difference when he came on at halftime in the last game, the Red Bulls game, in their you know, attempted comeback in the second half, and he was one of the big reasons for that.
An 11-goal extravaganza on this field, won by Red Bulls too.
Yeah, it was some game. The long lost art defending was certainly not on show that night.
Tampa Bay was on the road on a long road trip as they were out at San Antonio and got a 1-1 draw, but gave up a goal late, which has been a problem for them this season. This will be chipped, looking for Barry. He's inside the 18, closed down quickly by Portillos. Barry is in, and it's eventually going to be cleaned up and sent wide.
Yeah, we were talking about Alston. Lovely combination there with Alston and Cox to set up an opportunity for Haji Berry.
Cole able to get it out of trouble. The right back is trailing here. Walter Restrepo moving up that right side, leaving defenders in his wake, and immediately Timbo to the rescue.
Yeah, nice recovery there from Pierre da Silva after Timbo had committed to the challenge a little early, and he was skipped around by Restrepo.
Join the conversation. Use the game hashtag ORLVTBR. So glad to have you along here on this USL telecast. And it will be Barry to try to test Matt Pickens, and you're not going to beat the 36-year-old that way, the former MLS Cup winner.
Really lively start, though. Good combination from Haji Berry and Michael Cox there, showing that the two speedsters can play together.
Gorski making his 8th start. Former New York Cosmo, rather. And here in the 3rd minute, as the pace starts to settle down just a bit, now Lewis Neal putting on the pressure. And we'll try to force it in to Restrepo. Now OCB back on the attack. They're on the hunt, the Lions are. And trying to sneak that in behind to Cox. Talk about the relationship between Cox and Barry here the last couple of months of the season when they've gotten in together.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to see Michael Cox finally find a little bit of that form from last year, and you know, they have got a good relationship. They're able to use their speed to combine, and one of the goals against Red Bulls, they combine perfectly on this right flank to get in. So that's going to be something to watch as the evening progresses. Are they able to get on the same page and link up?
There's Cole, long switch of play to the far side.
I think this won't be the last time that we see Joe Cole being accurate with his passing range, which is just second to none.
Joe Cole, so many years with Chelsea, 182 appearances, 28 goals.
Never really was renowned for his pace and power, but you know, his precision, his technical ability is different class.
Featured in 2 World Cups for England as well. Going back to Gorski. Rowdies on the move. Service into the area. Pulled down by Guenzati. And showing his danger there, the Uruguayan making just his 3rd start of the season.
Yeah, again, he looked sharp there. You know, it's good defending from Zach Carroll there to be able to cut out that ball. But Guenzati took that down really, really well. And Carroll was able to just get the foot in and put it out for a corner.
Leads to the first corner of the match. Marcel Schaefer will do the honors. The German puts the left leg into it, outswinging kick. First contacted by a Rowdies player, and will be held out to the point. And back to Schaefer. Sneaking Cole in behind. He will double back as Barry pushes him out. Cole and Schaefer, 2 Champions League quality players. Cole leaves it square, held up, now switched by Vingard. Restrepo. Boy, with a speculative effort, took a deflection out, and now it will go out for a throw to OCB.
Yeah, Da Silva there really bought that dummy from Restrepo. He's got to stay on his feet and make it a little harder for Restrepo to get that cross in. But Schaefer had a fantastic assist last week as well for the Rowdies goal. He's got just a laser of a left foot. OCB have got to be aware of that passing range and ability from him as well.
Second in the league with 10 assists, on the team of the week for that performance. We're in our 6th minute, no score. And a foul here is Tony Rocha not inclined to agree with the referee, Jonathan Belinsky. Neil Collins, head down. Laser is going to go nearly into the seats.
Yeah, the Scotsman passing range not quite on point to start the game.
These two teams outliers when it comes to home and road splits this season. Tampa Bay on the road just 2-6-7. In behind now is Barry. He'll roll to Pickens. And a nice quick distribution along the left side. And Al Lang, they're 11-1-4, just one defeat the entire season here in their USL debut campaign.
None of the USL teams, you know, in the playoffs will want a matchup with the Rowdies, that's for sure.
Especially if you have to go on the road.
Yeah, they've been an impressive team at home, and they have a wealth of attacking talent.
Meanwhile, OCB has not been home sweet home, just the 3 victories here. And now Tampa Bay brewing something more. Big challenge there by Timbo. They'll regain shape as Tampa will continue to boss the possession here in the last couple of minutes. Zach Ellis-Hayden on the ball. Now Schweitzer quickly back. They'll reset.
It's important when OCB do win the ball back, they try and counter it at speed and transition quickly into the attacking half, because they are going to have the pace on the Rowdies back line, that's for sure.
Yep. Left to Neal here. We'll circle back, wait for the support. Da Silva. Now switch to Barry. Flag stays down on Haji. Send it across the face of goal in front of Pickens. Nobody home to knock it back.
Yeah, and that's where they're going to have success. If they can get Haji Barry out into space, and he's going to have success getting in between Collins and the left back Portillo. Gets into a good area there, puts the ball just a little bit too close to the keeper. He's got to aim for that second 6-yard box, and then Michael Cox is in on it. But good opportunity and good start from OCB, carving out a couple of opportunities early on.
35-year-old Matt Pickens. This season, 1.25 goals against average. Goalies are like fine wine. They just get better with age. The guy who won an MLS Cup, 5 saves in 2010 in that win with Colorado.
And his beard game is strong too.
It is certainly would be the USL team of the week, the all-beard team for sure. There was a throw. Trying to find Guenzotti.
It's a big couple of games here as well. You know, Tony Rocha against the Red Bulls wasn't able to really impact the midfield, but he'll be looking to try and dominate with his accuracy of passing and his completion rate tonight. See if he can get that a little higher and really control the tempo of the game.
Carroll, who featured for Red Bulls 2 years ago when they won the USL Cup. On the ball now. No pressure being shown by the Rowdies, sitting back defending. And we'll try to release Zach Ellis-Hayden along the right side. Runs out of real estate. He'll come back for throw to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. 3rd meeting of the season between these two. And it's been a win in the season opener, 1-0 on a penalty kick for the Rowdies. And then a late leveler via the penalty spot for a 1-1 decision here.
You know, that was a physical game that we did, and you know, a lot of tackles flying in, being that I-4 derby, and you probably see a few more tackles here tonight, and a pretty close encounter, I would imagine.
Last game was in July. Martin Patterson is the only player to have scored a goal from the run of play this year in this series. He's on the bench tonight for Tampa Bay, former Orlando City MLS player from the 2015 season. See if we see him later on. Here's Hayden.
I think set pieces are going to be important, you know, with Timbo and Carroll on the pitch as well for OCB. They're going to be a big threat on free kicks and corners.
Hayden to Rocha, out to Alston. Good right to left movement for OCB. Here's Neal to keep it going.
I had a chance to turn then. Lewis Neal didn't check his shoulder early enough. Could have maybe turned in the pocket and got something going, but they maintain possession.
Silva will chase. Now so will Rocha into some space, getting it across to Barry. One more time at his feet for the Ghanaian. Gets it on frame. A save is made. In front, a scramble loose. Pickens still reaching for it, and eventually smothers it to the delight of the traveling fans that have come up from Tampa.
Yeah, some scrambling defending there to stop that goal, but good opportunity again. Haji Berry getting in this inside right channel. Gets past, gets his shot off. Doesn't really connect it really that well, but good save from Pickens.
Cox was ready to pounce.
Just wouldn't fall for Lewis Neal or Michael Cox there.
It's Fenlison making his 8th start after Earl Edwards, MLS contracted goalkeeper, played most of the season, played the other night here against Red Bulls, saw 6 goals get past him. Bonamo, what a game he had for Red Bulls too. Hat trick.
Yeah, he led the line fantastically well, and everything he really hit went in. Flew in the top corner for him.
Had to have been a fun game to commentate on.
Yeah, it was a good one. Went right, it looked like even at 4-1, it looked like OCB still had a chance to get back in it, and they did.
Here's Gorski to King, making his 24th start. Tampa native. Gaither High School product. Saw him starting this matchup in July. He's on the ball now. We'll cut it inside. Vingard. Now work to Collins. Portillo was overlapping. Now Schaefer. Able to get a ball in behind, but nobody home. Picked up by Jake Fenlison.
OCB looking to overload on this right-hand side again. With Zach Ellis, Hayden, and Haji Berry. Zach Portillo's looks like he's maybe needs to get some help from his winger there, which he's not really getting. So could be an opportunity if they can keep getting the ball to this right side to Haji Berry.
Neal head up directly looking for Cox to the end line. Picked up by Pickens as OCB continuing to stretch the Rowdies. Nice wide open game, entertaining for you watching for sure. I was about to say two teams that don't have any issues playing in this weather. There's no advantage to playing in this environment, but it's a beautiful night tonight. It's finally cooling down here in the Sunshine State. Is Ellis Hayden on the ball?
About time, right? Certainly been a scorching fall, but nice to have the weather drop a little bit.
Ristov takes the ball away from Schweitzer. And the Rowdies once more working from the right side with Restrepo. Alston fronting him. Back to help is De Silva. Vingard. Switching again.
And Schaefer's found himself out on this left flank a lot. Usually he's playing in the center of the park, but him and Ristov seems like they're switching a lot from who's going to be in the center of midfield. So Schaefer may be trying to take advantage of that wonderful left foot of his.
Gorski to King. And Alston was wise to it. De Silva with 2 on, draws a foul. Free kick, Orlando City B. Well, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow us on Twitter @USL. The Brazilian Timbo Launching it. Back on the ball once more. De Silva will chase as he approaches the touchline right at halfway. Quickly back to Alston as OCB looks to switch it to the near side. Not happening.
The last time the Rowdies were here, they played a very low pressure game. We're getting a lot of numbers behind the ball. Tonight there, you can see they're pressing a lot higher up the pitch, which is going to leave gaps for OCB to get into on the counter. But they've got to be able to play out the press, which they weren't able to do there.
Conceded a penalty 5 minutes into the second half stoppage time. It was Danny Deacon at the spot to level the game right at the death. 5th time this season, the Rowdies had lost points by surrendering a goal past the 85th minute. Happened again in this past game on the road at San Antonio when they gave a equalizer late, and now trying to force that into Joe Cole. Nothing was happening there.
Yeah, not often you're going to see Joe Cole miss his kick like that.
Rocha, good energy here from OCB. Alston. Now Pierre De Silva. Oh, a long cross. Cox wearing 99 right in front of that byline. Leaves it. Schweitzer got a touch and sliced it to the left.
Yeah, really nice attacking movement there. The long diagonal ball. Pierre De Silva picks out Michael Cox on this right-hand side. He does well to bring it down. Lays a ball on a plate for Schweitzer, but doesn't really get a good connection on it. But again, another half opportunity, half chance there for OCB. Need to take advantage of these, though.
Pickens high in the air, 50-50. Ristoff won the first header. Now, before Cole could run on, Timbo made the intervention. Carroll. Ristoff. Long switch of play once more to Restrepo. Alston out there. Loves to take on defenders one-on-one, does Walter Restrepo. Cole trying to turn. Now Ristoff will curl it to the top corner. Not a bad effort there.
Yeah, you do not want to let the Bulgarian goal scorer get those opportunities on the edge of the box. They need to get more. You need to get tighter to him, and also to Joe Cole. He can find that either needle pass, and Ristoff can certainly finish. So, warning signs there for OCB to get closer to the attacking players from the Rowdies. Against the Red Bulls in the last game, they really allowed the strikers and the attacking players from the Red Bulls just way too much time. So, certainly can't do that again tonight if they want a result.
De Silva, oh, nearly a nifty ball. Trying to find Cox. Just snuffed out last second by Portillos. Restrepo on the ball one more time, running at speed. Overlap coming from King, and the offside flag was up.
Yeah, King just strayed. You can see it from our angle perfectly, just strayed offside a little bit. The pass from Restrepo was a little bit delayed. Should have given it now. Gave it a little bit too late, and King was offside.
Fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, you can visit NikeSoccer.com. 20th minute, no score, a lively game in this third and final installment of the I-4 Derby here. And the USL debut season for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. These two teams met a lot in friendlies and US Open Cups back in Orlando City's first iteration in the USL before they ascended to MLS. And it was heavily favored is an understatement. It was, every game was won by Orlando City in those days.
You got to be a part of those games.
Those were fun games. Great crowds on both sides.
But we have got a decent crowd here tonight as well. We can hear the walls here.
Tomorrow night, Tampa Bay Rowdies alumni, Orlando City alumni will take the field over at Seminole Soccer Complex for charity for the Orlando City Foundation. A big weekend of events. This on the heels of the U.S. national team game here on Friday, which was electric.
Let's talk about this being, the future home for the U.S. national team. Certainly a venue that I'm sure they're going to look to come back to.
The new Columbus, unfortunately, wasn't as good a trip over Trinidad and Tobago, and we'll leave that there for the moment. A magical night here. And, of course, the NWSL Championship coming up on Saturday here. And MLS has Orlando City and Columbus Crew. This field, and groundskeeper Matt is going to have his work cut out for him, as this field's taken on a lot of meaningful games here late in the season.
Yeah, you can still see it's playing absolutely lovely, though.
The combination there. A foul and a free kick coming to Tampa Bay right outside the area.
Yeah, Timbo definitely not happy about that. But dangerous area when you got Joe Cole, Schaefer around, Christoph. It's a dangerous, dangerous position for OCB. Yeah, he does have his shirt. Probably doesn't need to have his shirt. Then he's got contact, which is what you want, but doesn't need to have his shirt in his hand, and he's been penalized for it. A little bit harsh for the referee, though, because, it didn't really impact. Did have his shirt, but didn't really impact his movement. But the ref saw it, so that's why we got the free kick. It does look like Schaefer, with his left foot, is going to put this one down.
Crucial point of this match comes in the 22nd minute. Will it be Schaefer? Cole is there as well as Restrepo.
Could they be pulling something out of the box that tricks you? 3 of them.
On the 23rd, referee Jonathan Belinsky has the wall set, whistles the restart. Schaefer will take a skip through, saved by Fenlison as he was able to get enough to put it over the bar, and it will be a corner kick.
Amazingly, there he was able to actually take another touch. I was expecting the hammer to come, the wind up and the big hammer, but he was able to actually take another touch. And then, just tried to really pass that ball into the bottom corner, and Fenlison does well to just make sure his body's behind that and takes no risks and puts it out for a corner.
Just to change the angle that OCB was prepared for. Schaefer again. Corner kick is a little off the line. Headed out of trouble by Carroll initially, and Restrepo will waste that one into the crowd.
Yeah, good win from Zach Carroll, finding his feet, after the transfer from the Red Bull. And I'm sure he hasn't had the most dominant season that he's got in him, but certainly a talented centre-back that has a lot to give at this level and the next level. A goal and assist in the last game.
That's right. Carroll with his first assist of the season to go with the goal he had against Red Bulls 2. And against his former club. Well, I can't say it enough. This one so important, as most games are this time of the season. But for teams vying for a playoff spot and playoff positioning, as these two are, it just ratchets it up the. As Cox swung and missed, ratchets up the intensity that much more. Here's Zach Ellis-Hayden. Crafts in across towards Pickens. Nearly stung him to the near post. It's going to be in behind for a goal kick.
Zach Ellis-Hayden will tell you he was shooting there, but may well have been a cross. Definitely caught the keeper napping, though, on looking for the cross, and almost snuck in that near post. But yeah, OCB need to get a win tonight. They need those 3 points and put some pressure on Cincinnati, because Cincinnati have been on a slide, and they need to put some pressure on Cincinnati. Even the Red Bulls too, they've got a tough matchup. They've got to go to the Rochester Rhinos.
True. Red Bulls 2 on 44 points. Bethlehem Cincinnati on 43. OCB on 42, entering the final match of the season. Good job for Zach Ellis-Hayden getting back. He will concede the throw. Ristoff will do the honors. As you mentioned, Red Bulls 2 at Rochester, a team that's already clinched a playoff spot. Bethlehem lost earlier this week, and they will host St. Louis, a team below the line. And Cincinnati is at TFC2, the last place team in the East, place that's the easiest to get points off on the road for any team so far this season. So you got to put some pressure on, as you said, for OCB to make those performances count. We saw what happened in Trinidad and Tobago when the pressure was put on.
I think really the difference with this OCB team, you know, you really feel like this year, if they can sneak in and get that last playoff spot, they can make a run in the playoffs. You know, and there's no real dominant force that OCB, you know, will have any fear of going into the matchup. Whereas last year, obviously, the Red Bulls were, you know, a real force to be reckoned with, and they got that 8 versus 1 seed, and it was curtains.
Orlando City B has beaten Louisville this season. In fact, has gotten results in all those matches with Louisville, the first place team in the Eastern Conference. In fact, won 3-0 on the road. They've beaten and handled Charleston a couple of times.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some upsets this year, no doubt about it, you know, because, again, if Red Bull sneak in as well, they've got a very explosive attack. Yeah, do they need to fix things in the back? No doubt about it, but, you know, they were fantastic to watch the other night with their attack in play, and again, OCB have shown they can play with the big boys as well, no doubt.
Back to Fenless and it goes. Yeah, and OCB has also beaten Rochester once this season, gotten a draw as well. So they come out to play against the teams high up in the table. Neal putting on the pressure. Nicely done by Vingard to keep it going. One team they have not beaten is this Tampa Bay team. Did manage a result in the last meeting. Left along the right side. King, cross on its way. Good job by Timbo to disrupt it. Cole will back it in.
And they are playing very open tonight. They're getting their fullbacks very, very high.
Another ball trying to bend in behind. It will find Restrepo. Boy, a half bicycle, and then running towards that back post was Ristoff. Ran out of real estate.
Yeah, that was some ability there for Ristoff to be able to control that in one touch and then do the bike and hit it across goal. Just fantastic ability there from the Uruguayan. Just really inches away from Ristoff getting it at the back post and putting that up, putting that in.
Cole was charging hard as well. Tampa Bay has had its dangerous moments here for Fenlison in the back line of OCB.
Restrepo is actually Colombian.
Of Colombian descent, yeah.
Colombian descent, yeah.
Yeah, somebody with the last name Restrepo, you would think.
Yeah, Gonzati is Uruguayan.
Yeah.
Restrepo spent some time with the Cosmos. And the Fort Lauderdale Strikers as well, down here in Florida.
Yeah, Restrepo from San Diego, but played in Colombia. His family is from. On the ball again, back to King. Take some space, dribble it in. Slicing a pass corner of the 18. Trying to get turned was Guenzati. Keeping it alive. Going out to defend OCB. Trying to chip it in behind Ristoff. Tough angle here. We'll cut it back on his right foot. Now Schaefer. OCB needs to get the ball. Zach Ellis-Hayden stopped the momentum.
A good defending there in the low block there from OCB, being resilient, not letting them get in behind. But they did have a couple of opportunities to clear that ball.
Into the path. Schaefer got that one away. Boy, brave header from Kevin Alston. Read it the whole way. Pick up a foul, and OCB will get out of dodge here.
Yeah, great defending there from Alston, you know, coming in from his left back side and seeing that he can win the ball. So dropping into that centre back role and getting his head to it first in front of Joe Cole, which is what you got to do. You got to stop that man playing.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Monday at 9 p.m. on SiriusXM FC 85. Don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week as well. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Yeah, a moment of confusion there in the back line for the Rowdies. Just a direct ball right out the back, and almost sneaks through for Michael Cox. Collins didn't see him coming.
All right, on the half hour, still 0-0. This team a couple of half chances either side.
This will definitely be, you know, a positive start for Anthony Pulis. He wants it to be a tight game. He wants to be able to play on the counter-attack. And this is, you know, really OCB what they like to do. They like to defend, possess, and then try and really counter.
Back on the ball, the Rowdies. Restrepo ball in, going to ground was Guenzati. Fair challenge, ruled by the referee.
Yeah, opportunity here. Can they get up the pitch higher and quicker?
Zach Ellis Hayden. Pushed by Schaefer. And to answer your question, no. Schweitzer. Rocha. Da Silva. Alston on the overlap, cutting through defenders, keeping the run going.
Doing a bit of a Tony Adams there, tackling his way up the pitch.
And whistled for the infraction.
And that's what you see is probably the negative of having a right-footed player on the left-back position that, you know, when they does get into attacking areas, you know, does want to cut inside. Last
season in MLS, exclusively played at that right-back spot.
Certainly primarily a right-back, but he's probably the best 1v1 defender that, you know, that's in this OCB squad. So that's definitely why he's in there tonight, matched up against Restrepo.
And now getting free on the backside is Darnell King. Space to operate. King continues to run into the 18, leaves it back to the spot, trying to find Guenzati. And he waited on that ball.
Yeah, really important challenge there from Timbo.
Here's Cox. Or make that Haji Berry. Oh, I think it was a heavy foot there. Da Silva can't catch it. And you see the response from Haji.
Yeah, Haji Berry had the opportunity to put Pierre Da Silva into space and just overhits this one. But promising again, you know, good win. And that's the key to this game. A good win defensively, and then the transition to the attacking side at speed. And that's where they can catch this Tampa Bay Rowdies team.
Well, less than 13 minutes from halftime. It's the Rowdies with 58, make that now 57% of the possession in this one. And they'll get a little more now here as they'll have the restart in their favor.
You know, Neil Collins and his back line, they're not going to want to track back at lightning speed that the OCB attack can attack at. So, you know, it's really important that they get that counter going quickly.
Tampa Bay leading in shots 4-3, but OCB has 2 on target to the Rowdies 1. Maybe Ristoff can change that. That one drilled off the top of the crossbar. Well, there's another shot on target for you. That one to the back post, headed out of trouble. OCB forced to scramble here. Boy, a woodwork rattler.
Now we've talked about Schaefer's left foot, and we'll see that again, I'm sure, in a minute, but certainly hit that with power off the bar.
Restrepo was pushed off the ball, continues the run. Boy, the wizard inside the area. Play on, says the referee, Jonathan Belinsky. Trying to get out of there is Rocha, and draws the foul.
Yeah, I think the referee did a good job there from not blowing his whistle. Restrepo was definitely looking for it. Yes, was there contact. Here's the earlier chance from Schaefer, just a cut back from Ristoff. Wraps his foot around the ball really nicely, heading towards that top corner, but just gets under it a little bit. And then the penalty shout here, showing the foul on Tony Rocha. Definitely a little bit of a payback there for not getting the penalty, but if we can see that penalty appeal again, you'll see that maybe Restrepo went down a little bit early, a little bit too soon, and didn't get the call he wanted. Schaefer still on to the ref about it, though.
Some shaky defending at times here in this first half for OCB, looking to get it shored up. What could Anthony Pulis be thinking? OCB needs to win and then get some help on the weekend in order to make the playoffs. So 3 points of paramount importance.
Yeah, OCB need to settle down, deep breaths, get that block, you know, almost that block of 5 in the midfield behind behind the ball here for the next few minutes in the game and not concede, because this is a difficult time for them.
Cole, another long switch on a dime, brought down by King. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, for the young players, even though he's a flair player, he never does anything too complicated. The flair players today always trying to do something, but you got to pick your times, pick your moments to try and hit that killer pass or that killer dribble. Cole just keeps things ticking when he's in those areas where he needs to keep it moving.
You're watching the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Orlando City B season finale. Wherever you happen to be on USL Match Center, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined by Oliver 12 Trees on this renewal of the I-4 Derby, third and final meeting of the season. Outside shot of a meeting in the playoffs if numbers work, not likely. Here's Barry. Boy, nice job by the MLS first team player. Neal has switched to the right side. Now we'll try to send it over the top to Cox. Inside of the 18 and then escorted back out. Portillos.
Yeah, nice idea from Lewis Neal and Michael Cox. Try and get Cox into the channels. Use his pace in the matchup with Collins.
Gorski rolls it out. King and Restrepo, both flanks of him, very active here for Tampa Bay. Nice turn there by the U.S. Youth International, Pierre da Silva.
It's almost his patented move there, the little Maradona, isn't it? That's one of his favorites, gets himself out of trouble. We've seen that a few times this year from the skillful young player.
Silva still leading the team in assists with 7. That puts him 5th on the league table. There's a couple of pretty goals as well to go this season as well.
Yeah, and he's one that's, I'm sure the higher-ups of Orlando City are looking at, and maybe he'll even get a look in the last game or last couple of games here in MLS action, because he's certainly one for the future.
Did make his MLS debut earlier this season against Philadelphia. That was in the first month of the season.
Well, it's been a successful year. Definitely been a successful year. He's taken that next step on from last season, and I'm sure, if it's not this year, he'll be one that's going to be pushing for some more time in the MLS next year.
And this may be the first booking of the match, and Vingard will do the honors. Knew he was guilty, walked away, and Belinsky puts him in the book. Yellow.
Yeah, and Vingard, he's very much playing as the lone holder midfielder tonight for the Rowdies. Schaefer's pushing forward, and obviously Joe Cole's playing further forward, so that's an interesting one. He's going to have to be careful because he's the one really protecting the centre-backs tonight, and he's going to have to be, mindful that he's on that yellow for the next 60 minutes or so.
Free kick for Schweitzer upcoming. You don't want the big Canadian running free. Meanwhile, OCB gets it to that wide side, crossed in by Ellis Hayden. Trying to find Barry, the line holds. Alston keeps the ball, back to Timbo. Now Ellis Hayden, as that was read by Ristoff, he'll have to get back and defend immediately. Ristoff, top of the area. There's Guenzati trying to be a little cheeky with it. Nothing comes of it.
Yeah, lightning break there from the Rowdies, and it was good defending in the end from Timbo, and a chance here at the other end.
Da Silva on the wide flank. Plugs it in from the channel to Pickens. No problem, read it the whole way.
Game still played at a pretty open rate, end-to-end action here.
I got no choice but to leave it all out there tonight. There's nothing ahead as far as the regular season is concerned.
Because a point for tonight for OCB is not going to be enough. Really need that 3 points because they need help from
3 teams.
3 teams.
It essentially is 4 teams for 3 spots. And right now, OCB a point or 2 behind those 3 teams. And a late foul, and hearing from it here is Belinsky on a little confrontation here for OCB. have to have the cooler head prevail. It was certainly a late whistle.
Zach Ellis-Hayden trying to get close to Joe Cole. He is late on the tackle. Obviously, that would have been a chance for a counter-attack. You know, he did get some ball, but he was a little bit late in the challenge.
Having a conversation with the fourth official, Natalie Simon.
Be interesting what the fourth official say. Maybe, you know, she's looked at the replay and said that he did get ball, so it's not a yellow card. That's maybe the help of that fourth official actually doing something down there rather than just arguing with the coaches. Or the coaches arguing with them, I should say.
Yeah, probably the toughest job on the field, isn't it? The fourth official, because you're constantly hearing it. Well, Alston had to be good with it. Barry couldn't pull it down. Nick to the near side. And Schaefer in on a line to the right side. Restrepo collects it. Has time to think about it and then pull it back to King. King to the byline. Crosses away right to Neal. Settles it down inside the 18. Taking it into the corner is Zach Ellis-Hayden. And it will go for a quick throw. A lot of urgency being shown by the Rowdies here. Again, this game means a lot for them.
Yeah, they want that home playoff run. They know how strong they are at home, and they want to be in the playoffs with home field advantage. It's a late challenge there on Lewis Neal.
It's going to get a little bit more testy. Oh, the throw was inside.
Playing a little bit of handball there on the side, throwing it to each other. Thought we were supposed to use our feet. Oh, we're just seeing a little touch from Anthony Pulis on the sideline. We missed that on the TV. The lad still got it.
Way back to Gorski. To Pickens.
So a pretty low line of confrontation from OCP, not trying to high press, trying to stay compact. You can see Berry and Cox working there, trying to funnel them to one side.
Timbo Brave coming out, disrupts. King one-on-one with De Silva, nearly got the best of him. It will be OCB ball. Good job by Pierre De Silva.
Is there another bit of magic in this man tonight? Is someone going to put the team on their shoulders tonight and get them into the playoffs?
Rocha. Ellis-Hayden turns in space. Neal there. Moving the ball quickly. One touch from Rocha. Now back to the left side. De Silva. Had Barry running free in front. Good tracking by the Rowdies defense. Guenzati is giving chase. Oh, getting clattered.
Yeah, definitely some heavy challenges being thrown in there tonight. Game means a lot.
Remember, Vingard now on a yellow. And there's a foul on Cox.
Yeah, that was Vingard making that challenge again. So, yeah, he's got to be really careful.
Because that will change the game in a hurry.
You know, one more challenge, missed-time challenge, and he could be getting his marching orders now, because that was pretty tough challenge there. He was going for the ball, but, you know, mistimed it and got Rocha first, so he's got to be careful.
We're hearing just 1 minute of stoppage time will be tacked on. That's about a half minute away.
Well, I think Anthony Pulis will be happy to get to the break 0-0.
Especially after the last game, where they conceded 3 or 4 in the first half.
And, you know, they've had a few half chances, but obviously the Rowdies have had their lion's share of possession. But he'll be happy to get in a halftime, reorganize. You can see the Rowdies there getting a little upset. The referees, you know, a lot of stoppages to the game, a lot of fouls. But, you know, that'll actually suit OCB. They don't want it to become a free-flowing, you know, attacking transition type of game. They want it to be tight and try and get that one goal and get the 3 points.
Muck it up just enough. Back into halfway. There's the official for the 1 minute. So about 55 seconds at the discretion of the referee, Jonathan Belinsky. Ristov lifts one in, looking for Guenzati. Safely in the hands of Jake Venlison. Going wide open once more.
Could be one more chance here.
The Rowdies have 57% of the possession here in this first half, but nothing to show for it. Beautiful build up near on the left side for OCB. It's at the foot of Barry. Couldn't produce the final ball. Checking the watch, the referee. Gonna let this one run on the right side. Again, getting the edge. Build up across the face of goal. Nobody home to put it in. And that will do it for the first half. Boy, Joe Cole is gassed after that run.
Rolling back the years, Joe Cole on the dribble, taking Timber on, turning him left, turning him right, gets his ball back to his favored right foot. I think he was looking for that cross there. You know, maybe needs to be a little greedy there and go for the shot himself. Certainly, he was looking across to his strike partner, Hristov, and pulls it a bit wide.
Joe Cole and the Rowdies on the road to close the season. They'd like to clinch a home playoff game at Al Lang. They've got some work to do. OCB holding down the fort. 0-0 at the half. We'll come back right after this on USL Match Center.
This is where it all began. The passion, the reputation, both on the field and in the stands. They ruled an era in this league, and now they are back for more. The future of Orlando City can be summed up in 3 letters. OCB.
Welcome back to Orlando. Season finale for both of these teams. Orlando City B, Tampa Bay Rowdies 0-0 at the half. Jeff Radcliffe, Oliver 12 trees, and we'll take a look at the Eastern Conference standings entering this final week, and you can see each team taking up a different residence along that table, different neighborhoods. Tampa Bay trying to clinch a top 4 and get at least one home game. Orlando City B, excuse me, has to win to get above that line to start with, and then hope Red Bulls, Bethlehem, and FC Cincinnati can help them out by not getting wins on the weekend.
Yeah, you know, the 1 point's not going to really help them enough. I think, you know, they have inferior goal difference.
Yeah.
So, you know, the 1 point's not going to be enough. They need all 3 at home. So, you know, it should be an exciting second half coming up, because obviously Anthony Pulis knows his men have got to go for those 3 points. And, you know, it's been a cagey first half, a few opportunities for either side, but not a lot of final balls. So, not a lot of final products. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if they can get those 3 points and get above the line.
Yeah, no goals, just the 1 card. So Vingard enters the half. on a yellow, something to watch out for. There have been a number of fouls in this contest, trying to get the true. Well, right now there's been 21 tackles split between these two teams, 11 for OCB, 10 for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, you know, you're always going to get, with the derby game, you're always going to get some tackles flying in.
Yep.
And there's certainly been some. The coaches have been animated on the sideline. You know, the players have been 100% committed to this game and the ball and winning those first and second balls. So
yeah,
it's been an exciting game, and, you know, need more in the second half.
Total of 16 fouls. That's a little on the heavy side.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but 9 for OCB on the conceded mark, 7 for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And again, that one yellow card.
And that really has, you know, broken up the game a little bit and stopped the fluidity of the attacking players. The referee's been blowing his whistle a lot.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have highlights and a closer look at the stats right after this, as Rowdies fans have made the trip from St. Pete to see their Rowdies close out the season here on the road with just their 4th road win of the season. Make that just their 3rd. We'll be right back.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can
get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
As we enter the final 2 weeks of the 2017 USL regular season, the playoff race is coming down to the wire. In one of the final games of Week 28, the Charleston Battery claimed the point they needed to clinch a spot in the postseason through Eviel Cordovez's late equalizer, which earned a 1-1 draw at Ottawa Fury FC. Another sellout crowd at Papa Murphy's Park of 11,569 fans saw Sacramento Republic FC close out its home slate on a high note Saturday night with a 2-0 victory that ended Phoenix Rising FC's 11-game undefeated streak. With the win, Republic FC now needs just 1 point to claim a 4th consecutive trip to the USL Cup playoffs. At the top of the Western Conference, Real Monarchs SLC struck early in the second half and twice before the final whistle on the road to down Reno 1868 FC 3-0 to put one hand on the USL regular season championship. 1 more point is all that's needed for the Monarchs to claim the first silverware in their history. One of the scorers for the Monarchs in Reno was Chandler Hoffman, who is again firmly in the middle of the race for the USL Golden Boot with 16 goals this season. Everyone is still chasing Reno 1868 FC's Dane Kelly, though, as the Jamaican continues to lead the way with 18 goals in what looks now like a 3-player race that also features Hoffman and the Charlotte Independence's Enzo Martinez, who also sits on 16 goals. With 2 games remaining for all 3 players, the award remains up for grabs as the regular season nears its conclusion. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Flip ball in. There's the shot from Fitzpatrick, but a great save from Edwards Jr. But the landlord, Earl Edwards Jr., was right there to collect.
I don't know where that came from. I roll with it. I don't know if everyone's the biggest fan, but I don't mind it. I think I've been fortunate enough to be a captain of my high school teams and in college, so I think it's something that I like to do, I enjoy doing, and if guys look up to me as a leader and respect me as a leader, then it's something that I enjoy doing.
To Turgu right there, sends it in, and what a save by Edwards Jr. What a save by Earl Edwards Jr.
I look forward to the opportunity, like I said, not getting games my first 2 years. I think I looked at it as an opportunity to be a leader, being an MLS guy coming down to play with OCB. And so it was something I was just looking to take advantage of and take advantage of the opportunity I was getting to play games.
It's a chance, he's into the area. Sent back on the back post, over the top!
Going into that game, having not played a game in months, and I think that was a bit of nerves then, and since then I found the rhythm, and I think things are going well pretty so far.
Second straight game. He approaches, saved by Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my 2 years prior, I think I proved to people there were glimpses of the keeper I could be, but like I said, I was playing 5 to 7 games a year, so it was really hard for people to judge how good I am or how good I can be. And now this year, having played almost every single game at OCB, people can really tell what I'm capable of. Improving myself to the OCB, the MLS, and the first team staff, the B team staff, I think is something that's important for me, and hopefully I can just keep the ball rolling.
Back at Orlando City Stadium, it's OCB and the Tampa Bay Rowdies 0-0 at the half. Jeff Radcliffe, Oliver 12-3s, and our entire USL Match Center crew bringing you the action in this season finale for both of these teams. Playoffs and implications certainly relevant here tonight as we take a look at the highlights from the first half. No goals, but plenty of things to speak about.
Yeah, great start for Orlando City. Carved out a couple of opportunities, but the best chance early comes to Christoph here, but a great saving tackle. Christoph again, trying his luck from outside. And then Schaefer, the German.
On the free kick.
Nice little trick play, creating the opportunity to work Fennelson.
Restrepo with the little half bicycle, and then nobody could finish on the near post.
Schaefer again, who's been a dominant influence on the game, breaking from midfield, getting the ball back.
Oh.
Just a lovely strike with his left foot, but just gets under it a little bit off the crossbar.
And the second balls have been just as dangerous, and that's something, if you're Anthony Pulis, watch out for.
Last chance of the halves comes to the veteran Joe Cole. Just gets on the inside of that and cuts it across the goal a little bit too much.
Orlando City B had its fair share of chances too. Haji Berry and Michael Cox causing some problems.
Another opportunity. Haji Berry works Pickens now down to his right, and the ball just wouldn't fall for Lewis Neal. Actually very good defending on that right-hand side as well on the rebound from Darnell King, stopping an easy tap-in from Lewis Neal.
A long switch of play. See the strategy here. And it was Schweitzer. Couldn't slice it back inside.
Good cross there, and just tries to sneak it at the front post from Zach Ellis-Hayden. But it's all square, 0-0, all to play for in the second half.
Here's the stats. Rowdies with the edge in the possession category. Shots as well, but just the 2 on target. Rowdies just 1. I'm not quite certain how the Schaefer, Schaefer's rim rattler that did not count as a shot on target, but Well, that's where you're at right now. The one yellow card for the Rowdies that could play in effect, and there we talked about in the last segment. A lot of fouls starting to rattle up. Here's what we've got to look forward to in USL. The USL Cup going to be set. November 13th at 9 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be televised on ESPNU. Playoffs begin next week on the 20th of this month. 3 new clubs will start play in 2018: Las Vegas, Fresno, and Nashville. 3 big cities too there. Going to be a part of the league.
Definitely some interest. There's a big soccer interested in in Nashville, in Tennessee, and obviously Vegas will be a fun place to go, I'm sure.
2 million people have watched games, not just online. We're talking about in the stadiums. 2 million this year as the USL continues to grow and grow.
That's a big
with,
piece,
with attendance and with new clubs.
Yeah, and really important piece in the development of U.S. soccer is the USL. It's important that they're continuing to blood some of these youngsters. Giving the likes of the young boys coming up through the ranks, giving Pierre da Silva the opportunity, the platform to show he can play in the men's game, and that's really what it's about. Is let some of these academy boys, can they make it? Can they make an impact at this level?
Set for second half kickoff. Jonathan Belinsky waiting his 45 minutes back on the clock. It will be OCB going right to left towards the wall end of Orlando City Stadium.
Very important 45 minutes here for both clubs, especially Anthony Pulis' men trying to get into the playoffs. The Rowdies trying to secure a home playoff berth.
Have to feel fireworks are coming. We've kicked off. Collins. Long ball, should be no problem for Ellis Hayden. Right back to Fenlison. And OCB will take shape.
OCB need more from Tony Rocha in the center of the park. He needs to get on the ball more, needs to have more an impact to the ball because he's a very talented player that can really control the tempo of the game and hasn't done enough in the first half for me, for the talented that he has. He earned himself an MLS contract after his first year for OCB. Some tough injuries this year that have held him back a bit, and now is his opportunity to really make his imprint on this game. We talk about on the bench as well. I'm sure at some point for the Rowdies, we're going to see the striker Patterson, who scored in the last game here with the Rowdies and OCB.
A heck of a strike too in that game. Ended up being a 1-1 result.
And he has 9 goals on the year as well. So a good season for the Englishman that's also represented Northern Ireland.
And played in Orlando in 2015. Didn't play a lot, had a lot of injuries, and immediately going against the grain the other way, and missed attempt there for Cole, who can't believe it.
Zach Carroll got himself on the wrong side of Cole there and just couldn't make a challenge because he was the wrong side and didn't want to bring him down, and a big opportunity for Cole there, on his left foot. Got to hit the target. He's playing a pretty advanced role tonight. We've seen him playing almost up front alongside Gonzalez.
Gingerly walks away. And Cox, good hold up there from the Canadian. Neal sprays it to the center. Rocha one touches, will not find its destination. De Silva. Gotta be wise to it here. Good job by Rocha to head it back into trouble. Foul coming back from Cole as Schweitzer hit the deck. It'll be a free kick, OCB.
Joe Cole not happy, obviously. You can read his lips there, but a clear foul from Joe Cole. Doesn't get anywhere near the ball. But of course he says he got ball.
Cox, 1-on-2. It'll be a throw for OCB. De Silva will leave it for Kevin Alston, who does have a big throw in his arsenal. May not be the Rory DeLapp, but can wing it in there.
Maybe the Owen Torkowski.
The Owen Torkowski. Starting center back for Eastern Florida State College.
Does have a long throw as well.
Yep.
Just thought I'd try and get him in there.
Oh, he's had it since his high school days at Melbourne High. Immediately on the counter the other way. It was Guenzati.
Yeah, great defensive transition that time from OCB, getting numbers back as soon as possible and slowing this attack down, delaying it.
Darnell King. Nothing troubling there. Vingard. Portillos and continue to stay wide as Marcel Schaefer. Very patient build up here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Cole. King now. Cross away. Back post. Big header there by Zach Ellis-Hayden to get it out of trouble initially. Cole will recover. Schaefer, the German, from distance, lets it fly and got a little too much of it.
You got under that one, but you can't give him space in and around the box.
Just underway, second half, no score. Tampa Bay Rowdies, Orlando City B. Playoff implications of the highest order. 32nd and final game of the season for both of these teams, as they'll watch the rest of the league and the rest of the conference play on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday.
Got to say, would have been nice to have all the games at the same time. You know, is it a disadvantage for OCB playing first, or does it give them a little bit of an advantage?
If you're Bethlehem or Cincinnati or New York Red Bulls too, you know what you need to get.
But there's more pressure then, I think, as well. You know exactly. Oh, that's a tackle. That could be red here. His foot was clearly up. Portillos.
Big challenge.
Zach Portillos, his foot's up. He's in the air. He's flying into that tackle. Tony Rocha's not getting up anytime soon. This is going to be an interesting and a big call from the referee. I think he wants to have a chat with his linesman.
Take a look here. How tough a challenge was this? Ooh, yep. Studs could be construed as up there.
Yeah, foot's up. There's no doubt he's going in the book. He gets away with that one, a yellow. You have seen those given him the red card. No doubt about it. But he gets away with that and just gets the yellow. But
second Rowdy in the book to go with Vingard. So now Portillos. So that will come in the 51st minute.
As this game goes on, I'm sure you're going to see more and more fouls, and wouldn't surprise me to see a different color card coming out as well in this next 35 minutes or so.
This game meaning so much for both of these sides. Without the playoff implications, these teams could be 15th and 14th in the table, and you'd have an exciting match on your hands. And separated by a couple of hours of interstate.
It's good to see this rivalry back. I'm sure it's going to continue to grow as the USL grows and this OCB team gets its own following in its own right, as the Rowdies do and as Orlando City used to have in USL days.
Austin Martz is warming up and making final preparations inside the technical area for OCB, so we'll see him enter the game shortly.
Yeah, made a nice cameo appearance off the bench against the Red Bulls and did well. So no surprise to see him warming up.
Schaefer on a diagonal. Leaves it left. This is Portillos bending across away. Fenlison had it covered. Wasn't dangerous enough. Cole saves it in. Restrepo. And trying to get out of the dodge is Neal. Nice job by Zach Carroll to meet that with the head first. Oh, Lewis Neal still has it. Cut it back on a dime and gave him 9 cents change, and now delivers the strike on the far side. OCB will have the throw.
Yeah, lovely footwork from Lewis Neal. That's why he's our player to watch tonight. Turns out of trouble and delivers a nice ball over Collins' head onto the unrushing Michael Cox.
So Martz getting instructions. He'll certainly inject an element of speed.
Yeah, and we're talking about playing on the counter-attack and being able to attack in transition. Well, he can certainly give that because he's a 100-mile-an-hour player.
De Silva feigns to the right, goes to the left. Nicely done by King to stay with it for the time being. De Silva will earn the corner kick for OCB.
Yeah, not getting much change out of Darnell King tonight. And wouldn't mind maybe seeing them switch, seeing Hadji Berry come over to the left side and see if he can use his pace to get in behind King, because King is extremely athletic. Portillo's more of a ball player on the left back for Tampa Bay Rowdies.
De Silva has quite the delivery in a left foot. Can he make it behave? A little flick, falls inside of the 6, headed back. De Silva will chase it, shield the ball. Carroll will have to hold it. In fact, he'll watch it go into touch.
Let's see another long throw coming up.
Alston trots over.
He's having a little chat with Carroll as well. Something they've gone over on the training ground, I'm sure. Maybe Carroll's going to come to the near post, try and get the flick on.
Carroll, a couple of goals this year, one last week. Can be the target here.
It looks like Timbo's coming to the front post. He's going to try and get that flick on.
And Schweitzer on a volley lifts it into the supporter section.
Gets the extra point there.
Many of an NFL kicker doing the same thing, and here comes the change. Schweitzer will come off with a full head of steam.
So definitely an attacking substitution here. Now, no doubt about it, that adds, Schweitzer more of a defensive midfielder, and Martz more of an attacking midfield player.
Who can stretch things.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes out into the right here. He has run out into the right of the pitch, but still in that midfield 3, it looks like. Maybe De Silva will drop in. We'll see shortly here. Maybe it's going to be actually a more orthodox 4-4-2. So no Hadji Berry's going to play right up the front with Cox, and Martz will be on the right.
You saw Lewis Neal sorting things out with everybody.
Yeah, so now you're looking at a more orthodox front 2 with Berry and Cox playing up front next to each other.
Martz, fresh legs on Ristov. Push it back to Collins. Scotsman from Troon over to Gorski. Cole still's got it. Dummy from Restrepo, challenge from Alston. It will run in. The minimum should be a foul. No, in behind, goal kick. Good challenge from Alston.
Yeah, Alston got there just in time. Solid performance tonight. Really locked down defending from him. Yeah, you can see he gets a touch on it, and then it rebounds off. Restrepo out for that goal kick.
Alston, the MLS Comeback Player of the Year in 2013, coming back from cancer for leukemia. Made it all the way back with the New England Revolution.
Yeah, an absolute
helped the team to
specimen of a human as well. Absolutely ripped and strong as an ox. So, great story from Kevin Alston.
Up the Revolution to an MLS Cup appearance. He's on the ball now. That was from the right side of the field. He's been on the left here for OCB primarily. And doing the business again, and earns another free kick. You see the frustration from Restrepo. He's had him in his pocket as of late.
Yeah, again, seeing that good 1v1 defending, not diving in, making it difficult for him. Giving him the decision when to move, and then getting his body across him as using his strength. I've seen a few tackles flying in tonight, but the best way of defending is trying to stay on your feet as long as you can, make it difficult.
Cox.
Talking a good defending. It's been a good performance from Gorski as well. He's been very, very solid next to Collins tonight. Really hasn't given the strikers an inch.
Been very, very fearless. You see why he's been inserted into that lineup since coming over from Poland.
That's a soft call from the referee, though. We're talking about Gorski, playing well, but he got himself the wrong side of Cox, and Cox was just a stronger man there. The referee fell for it. You can see here just a little bump, but just used his shoulder to shoulder.
Gorski, the New York native, played with the Cosmos the last couple of seasons before venturing over to Poland. Played collegiately at Stanford. You see the ability. Good signing for the Rowdies.
Yeah, the college game's been getting a lot of stick in the press since the U.S. game of late. But you've got a lot of players out here, that have played in college.
Wow, the ball there. Cox will have to give chase to the touchline. Numbers come forward. The Canadian circles back. The two Canadians, in fact, with Zach Ellis-Hayden. Neal dropping a little deeper now. Martz. Ellis Hayden, and there's Da Silva to get a touch. He'll race to the corner with King. Launches it upfield towards Cole. Timbo, offside flag was up. Rocha continuing the run. Trying to serve it in behind. Dealt with by Collins. Make that Portillo's. Now Cole with space to operate. Cole on the diagonal, right to Restrepo. We've played almost an hour here in Orlando. No score. I feel something's coming. Leave back. Schaefer. Another with the right foot that time to the back post area. And Guenzati unable to collect and deliver.
You know, going back to my train of thought there, you know, in terms of development, well, you know, there's a lot of college players out here that have gone through the college system that are playing here in the USL. Yes. Whereas, you know, where are the academy players? You know, the academy players, they're not good enough right now. You know, they're not good enough to get in and step in and play at this level. That's why the college players are playing. So, yeah, the college, you know, the college players are getting a hard time. The college system's getting a hard time. But if those academy players aren't ready, then, you know, the college is serving its purpose. The academy players, they're the ones that need to be ready to step in and play at this level with, you know, there's a few guys on the bench for both teams, but, you know, those are players, those 16, 18-year-olds that need to be groomed and need to be ready to play at this level. And right now, they're not getting it done.
You, as a college coach, have a certainly unique perspective. I think the college game has gotten blasted a little bit here in the last couple of days on the heels of that World Cup qualifying exit for the United States.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's massive improvements. You know, 2 seasons is a must. It has to happen. You can't just play 3 months of the year. But, you know, it certainly has its place, and it has a place in American culture, and you got to embrace that place and make it better.
So see if some money can go. NCAA can maybe help out by understanding a little bit about the situation the United States is in when it comes to development.
No doubt about it. But, you know, the USL is such an important piece to get these boys ready. You know, it's a massive piece. You know, see it with Pierre Da Silva. You know, he's getting the experience he needs. You know, Haji Berry, you know, young player as well. You know, it's so important that these guys are getting the opportunity to play against men, and that's what they're doing right now. And you can see who they're playing against tonight, some of these OCB players, guys that played in the Champions League. Yes. You know, that's what these young academy guys need. They need that exposure. But if they're not good enough, they're not good enough.
Certainly fills those gaps that have been talked about, whether you're talking about Taylor Twellman, any of the pundits that have been certainly disappointed over the last couple of days on whether it's social media or on national media. He's trying to work it here to Restrepo, and Alston got the better of him again.
Yeah, great defending, great use of his body there. Just get himself in the way, so there's no passing lane for Restrepo to get into.
Common point we're hearing is also you had those 2 cycles of Olympic qualifying. The United States did not make that. They missed 2 Youth World Cups before making the one a year ago where they finished in the quarterfinals. That's a whole generation of American players that didn't play meaningful games.
Yeah, that weren't good enough, you know, at that young age to be able to, you know, make the difference. And I think, you know, that's what we're seeing is that the young players, the talent's definitely there at the younger ages. There's no shadow of a doubt. Under 14, under 15, under 16, there's great talent in the U.S. and there's tons of it, but they're not then taking that next step.
Ristoff leaves it for Schaefer, kept it alive. Collected on the near side, a heavy touch.
I don't see that very often. Schaefer, bad first touch from Schaefer. Very, very rare from him.
We'll come all the way back to Collins. And now Pickens will release the long ball. Color partner, the MLS level, Tom Traxler, a longtime coach. Was responding to some folks on social media saying MLS is the problem. And our point is MLS has been very, very good for, more importantly, the teams that have eliminated us. You look at all the goals that were scored on Tuesday night by MLS players for Panama, for
Yeah.
For Honduras?
Yeah, there's no doubt that the league is better now than it's ever been. The USL is better now than it's ever been.
But it's not that it's not good for the U.S. players. That's just not true, and people are saying that.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just, could there be something in place to get more, American players in the league, But again, they got to be good enough because guys' jobs are on the lines, GM's jobs are on the line. They have to produce players that are good enough to win games, and if they're not there, then you got to go overseas, right?
Meanwhile, King draws the foul as De Silva came down late. And now a free kick from about 35, 40 out.
Well, he's got to be careful there. Little...
De Silva does have 2 red cards.
And Vingard, he kicks the ball at De Silva there, kicks the ball away.
Now Martz trucking along the right side, getting behind. And curls it right to Pickens. Delivery not of sufficient quality to find Haji Berry.
A great pace, wasn't it, from Martz getting into a good area.
Well, the hardest things to do is deliver those passes on a run, though.
And I think if I was coaching Austin Martz, I would have him out there an hour every day after practice, just using that pace, but just practicing that final ball, because he's got all the ingredients to be a top player. Just that final ball, that final cross, which is obviously an extremely hard skill to produce when he's running at that speed. But, that's the area of his game he needs to improve.
Gorski near side, King. Certainly have enjoyed all the discussions that have opened up on the heels of that loss. After a couple of sleepless nights thinking about what just happened, you start seeing the silver linings and what this could open up going forward for soccer in the United States. Yeah, and USL, a huge part of that equation. Cole. Here is King. A great service into the area, a little flick back header off target. As Ristoff, I believe, got there. Or
it looks like it was Guenzati. Guenzati just there, really the first opening he's had tonight.
Here comes another change. So looks like Haji will come off.
Yeah, Haji not too happy that he's leaving the field there, which is understandable, but he's got to produce. Attacking players have got to produce. Otherwise, you got to use your substitutes wisely, and you got to get players on there. So, disappointing night for Haji Berry, but he'll be back. Good season for him. A really, really positive season for Haji Berry. Here's the opportunity here.
For Danny Deacon, yeah.
For Guizzetti, just doesn't really get a good contact on that.
Deacon
heads it wide.
Is the player that has come on, making his 20th appearance. Did have the goal, the PK goal, to earn the result here in July against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and he's been lively. He's been lively off the bench, often used as a substitute to bring that energy and trying to, break pressure in the final third, and done well with that nice left foot as his. There he is, and again, in getting it in the pocket.
Taking on the ball, rolls it right. So Cox really the lone striker type that's in there. Now Deacon back on the ball. Plenty of space to operate. Fresh, going straight up the gut, held up. Now Deacon will continue to chase. Boy, you love the energy he brings in. Rocha. So 2 of the available 3 changes have been made by Anthony Pulis.
Yeah, no subs yet for the Rowdies, so you'd think they would go to their bench at some point.
We're now in the 68th minute. A vital win with the head from Zach Carroll.
You can see OCB, they may be up in the intensity levels here in the last couple of minutes. They know that it's time to really get the intensity going, play a little bit quicker, and see if they can carve out some opportunities.
Draw does not help OCB really in any way. Whereas a point, not necessarily the worst thing for Tampa Bay here on the road. And we'll move them into a tie for second going into the weekend with Charleston, who have a tough game against Charlotte to close out the season. Martz, the 1-2. Working it into Cox again. Tell you, the center back tandem of Gorski and Collins have been strong all night.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit more creative. You can't just lump crosses into the box because, Collins and Gorski are going to win those all day long.
Trying to split it for De Silva. What are you seeing here from Anthony Pulis tactics-wise now?
Well, it looks like now he's, pushed to Silva up front, and Danny Deacon's playing on that left-hand side, or maybe he's just filling in for him in that attack. But, they're trying to be a little bit more direct, realizing that it's important. Nice little nutmeg there from Timbo.
Vital challenge first, then pulled out the spice. Continuing the run, and again, Cox for the infraction.
They're still in that 4-4-2, lineup with, it looks like Deacon's on the left and De Silva's playing up front. Maybe De Silva can produce a little bit of magic. Cox, you want Cox to go on the outside there, if you're technically Pulis, you're probably yelling at him, go on the outside, beat him byline, beat him on the outside, then he can create a cross and opportunity. All the defenders are inside. You're just going inside to trouble there.
Look at the replay there. There was certainly a little tug of the jersey, but Gorski looked like it really hurt. Working it into Cole. Job by Rocha to break it up just enough. Cole may be tiring a little bit here. Here's Deacon. With Martz running ahead, has Cox to the left, that's where he go. Michael Cox inside the 18, laying it back, and it's going to be skirted right as there was an opportunity there for Austin Martz, and could not turn around on it.
Yeah, great break from midfield there. Tony Rocha wins it in midfield. Danny Deacon gets hold of it, drives into pressure, and then plays a lovely ball out wide for Cox. Cox cuts it back. Big opportunity there for Martz. Big opportunity. Not on his favored foot, but he's got to get a better contact there and make the goalkeeper work.
20 minutes to go. That's all that remains in the regular season for these two teams. Tampa Bay are certain to play another game. Question is, will it be at home or on the road? They currently occupy the third spot.
As you said, you think probably the 1 point will be enough for the Rowdies to secure home playoff place.
At least one game, yeah. They want two, though. They can get all three. They're in good position to secure 2 home games. Certainly a possibility would arise.
But these subs for OCB have certainly made a difference. There's a lot more energy and tempo about OCB right now.
Ellis Hayden, the line pushed off the ball, continues to keep his composure. Back to Neal, who's more in that holding role now. It's the versatility that Louis Neal gives you as far as being able to play any spot in the midfield.
He's been a great servant to the club and performed a number of roles and always performed very admirably.
He's on the ball now inside the circle. We'll cut it back. Got nicked just a bit. As Schaefer had it taken away. Yep. Never gave up on the play. There's Louis Neal.
Again, that's something for the young players to watch. Poor giveaway in the center of the park by him.
Flag is up as Cox collects.
And that's one of the things, in the young game in youth development, which is absolutely vital. It's that defensive transition. Look at that. Oh. Just a great time tackle there from Louis Neal. He lost the ball, but he was first to get back and snuff out that danger just before Schaefer was about to pull the trigger.
Well, Darwin Jones comes on, and Restrepo's night is done. So it's a like-for-like change. See if he occupies that same part, that left side here for Coach Stuart Campbell now in his 3rd season. I do feel that momentum shift just a bit. Deacon.
Can OCB take advantage of this momentum shift that they have right now? Probably the best spell in the whole match.
Ellis Hayden, got away from him.
Yeah, worked the ball well out there to Ellis Hayden. Does well to beat his man. Doesn't find the cross.
This game was a 1-0 game in the season opener. Way back on 25th of March. Ristov had a penalty in the 60th minute and an otherwise superbly played defensive contest for both teams. Great goalkeeping there in that game by Earl Edwards. OCB got the 1-1 draw late in July. Rowdies with the build-up once more. Cole steps to his right. Here's Jones, who just came in. Goes to the right foot. And behind, corner kick here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, good break from the Rowdies. Cole shifted that ball into his right foot. Wanted the foul from Rocha, but never a foul. But still got the ball out to Jones.
So Darwin Jones, for 11 MLS appearances with Seattle the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, top defender now. It's been a very good performance from Alston tonight again. Stopping the final ball coming in. Blocking crosses, blocking shots.
Marcel Schaefer. 8 times capped with Die Mannschaft. Headed on frame and in, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies have taken the lead. Ristoff has scored. So on a set piece, the Rowdies have taken control here with about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, Ristoff there, you know, really rose well on that corner and directed that ball across the keeper into the corner. You know, great pick out from Schaefer. Ristoff with the ups, gets up, directs that ball just agonizingly over the head of Lewis Neal, who's on the back post. But, you know, great header from the Bulgarian. Just glancing header, gets up, uses all those neck muscles and stomach muscles to contort his neck and just place that ball into the top corner.
Team leading 13th goal of the season. And if you looked at the standings now, as it's being played, they're in second position in the East with that goal.
Oh, really a dagger there to OCB in their best probably spell of the match, really dominating possession and creating some opportunities. And
in the position to need not just one, but two to really get something meaningful from the game. A loss, and it's definitely over. Oh, foul here and going to the pocket. This will be Da Silva. And gets his yellow.
So yeah, you know, it's time now for OCB to roll the dice a little bit. They only do have that one substitution left, but so important that they really try and throw everything they have at the Rowdies and try and get back into this one. You know, they've shown in their last game against the Red Bulls that they have a never say die attitude. They're willing to work until the final whistle. So, you know, now it's time to really up the tempo, up the level, and see if they can get something out of this game.
The Rowdies do have a propensity to give up late goals. We saw it here in July. And OCB has had the propensity to score late goals. So don't go to bed yet. Da Silva there in the book officially. See if this changes the approach from Stuart Campbell's team. And here comes the third change. It will be Ben Polk, who is an out-and-out striker. He's got 2 goals this season. Has not seen much time, limited action. This will be just his 8th appearance. They need goals, and that one going to be flown into the concourse off the foot of Darwin Jones.
It'll be interesting if they'll take maybe take another midfield player off and for the substitution they're about to make. Because Ben Polk is, as you said, primarily a striker. He can play on the wing, but maybe Da Silva, he's left-footed as well, so maybe Da Silva will make way for him. He's tiring a bit, but again, that's your match winner. Maybe you don't want to take out.
He's also on a yellow. You know, leave yourself down to 10. Oh, how about Cole? Warding off the challenge from Rocha, throws him down. Play on, says the referee, Jonathan Belinsky. Advantage given.
Yeah, Rocha gives him a tap on the back. Then get up, son. But lovely skill from Joe Cole, wasn't it? You know, just use for his body, just a little drop of the shoulder, swivels outside.
We await the sub as we look here. Alston thought he had the better of him. And
Alston coming out, so it looks like they're going to go to 3 at the back. I would think 3 at the back, and you know, really have a go here. So this could make for a very interesting last 12 or so minutes. Very good shift from Alston.
You know, Timbo Can play any spot along the back line, also in the midfield, so you're fine with him going a little more wide.
Yeah, so you know, maybe they'll shift to a back three, or maybe they'll just shift De Silva out to left back. You know, we'll have a look here. They might just put an attacking left back and De Silva on, and put him left back and see if he can get forward and go from there. But we'll see after this free kick here what shape they're in.
Schaefer will take his time. Already has one pinpoint delivery that's led to a goal. Marcel Schaefer. In the 79th, no hurry to take it. Another great delivery and headed out of trouble. We'll do it again. There'll be another set piece, this time a corner kick for the Rowdies, and this will help salt some time away as they look to get a late victory here in Orlando to close out the regular season. And for the traveling fans that have made their way from St. Petersburg, oh, how sweet it will be to do it against their old nemesis and knock them out of the playoffs. It's been a long time coming if you're a Rowdies fan. Another delivery whistled in. Deacon.
Chance for a counter-attack here, though. Can they get numbers up?
Easy call there. Quick yellow, doing what he had to do.
Yeah, smart foul. Definitely
Gorski
knew he was going in the book from that, but, you know, again, intelligent play from Gorski. Has to do it. Doesn't want to let the counter happen. Yeah, it does look like De Silva's just gone to left back. Let's keep that same four in the back, but obviously De Silva probably won't do a lot of defending. And then Danny Deacon is on the left wing.
Now, whether you lose, you know, 1-0 to 2-0, that doesn't matter. You got to get a goal.
And this is what's going to happen, though. Look,
yeah,
De
you're
Silva.
going to open up some space for Darwin Jones. Timbo leaving it across. Cole, boy, the defending there was wonderful from Carroll. Selling out with the slide.
Yeah, that's what you need. You know, that's for centre-back play. Just fantastic centre-back play. Putting your body on the line, getting that block. He blocked a certain goal there, Zach Carroll.
Rocha. Space opening up. He and Lewis Neal. To Zach Ellis Hayden. He'll catch it up. As the Rowdies bunkered in. Looking for their second 1-0 win over their rivals this season. De Silva. To Deacon, a lot of side to side right now, nothing penetrating. Here's Rocha. Cox sees it go into the corner. King bumps it forward. Fenlison way out of his area to force the issue here. Short time.
That's what they need to go. Yeah, they need to keep the Rowdies just locked in that defensive shape now and see if they can create something. Keep them high up the pitch, press them high up the pitch, see if they can create an opening.
And a misfire there, back on a throw for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and here comes their third and final change. Joe Cole's night comes to an end. Had a part to play here tonight.
Yeah, definitely showed his class, you know, rarely gave the ball away, create some lovely openings, and even showed he could still beat you on the dribble as well. You know, pleasure to call the game with this English football legend, Joe Cole, leaving the field.
Justin Chavez.
Has he got another season in him, Joe Cole, or you think?
35 years old. You could say the same about Lewis Neal on the other side, the other Englishman.
Yeah, there's no doubt he can still play at this level. Whether he decides to hang up his boots like Pirlo, or whether he decides to keep going. You wouldn't put him in the same sentence as Pirlo? Maybe not.
Oh,
maybe,
no. I'm poking fun at Pirlo.
Maybe that's
so this is just
stretch it a bit.
Yeah, just the second change here. So there's one more available, I think, for Stuart Campbell. Pirlo was a shell of himself at the MLS level.
He had a good couple of years. He enjoyed his time in New York, though.
Yeah, well, of course. Good bars. Nice lifestyle.
He had some
just
good
in a physical and fast league like MLS, the slow, beautiful technical play gets lost a little bit. A long ball, Polk. Neal Quickly out to Rocha. Defending is Chavez, just into the game. Going back, Timbo. Zach Ellis-Hayden. Zach attack from the right side of the defense.
That's twice in a row now. It's great running down the flank from Zach Ellis-Hayden and no final product. They have to have final product and fast.
And Polk and Michael Cox still the head of the formation. Do have Martz down there. De Silva keeping it alive. Rocha in a bit of a tough spot. Chavez closing it down. Now Timbo. 85th minute, 1-0 to the good for the Rowdies. Looking to deny OCB a second straight season in the USL playoffs. Intercepted by King. That was Jones, rather. Now this is King. Has Jones in front, right along the touchline in front of the Orlando City technical area. Chavez will clip it to the other side of the field. Vital win 50-50 here.
Yeah, Anthony Pulis kicking every ball, almost literally there on the sideline.
Lifted, no problem. It's right at Collins or Gorski. Not going to be a good result for you offensively.
It's been a solid performance tonight, you know, from that back four. Really, it's just that one set piece goal. You know, it's so tough to concede after all the hard work they've done to concede on a corner kick. You know, really tough pill to swallow, I'm sure, for Coach Pulis.
Who's quite animated at the moment.
You definitely need to push the tempos, no doubt about it. Yeah, frustrating night. Just the final ball just has not been there for OCB tonight. And really, I guess if you look back on the season, that's been the issue.
Especially at home.
It's been the final ball, the little bit of quality they've needed in the final third. And it's been lacking tonight, and looks like that's why they're gonna, you know, edging towards missing the playoffs this year. Which, you know, but on the positive side, they've seen some, you know, great young players come through and make an impact at the pro level and show that they're here to stay.
Certainly some impressive results this year for the Pride of Lions. 7-5-4 away from home, 3-4-8 at home, and there's no explanation for it. They have gotten the 8 draws, but just haven't been able to finish the job. Not an easy job for Anthony Pulis. The ever-changing lineup due to MLS players coming up and down. Out to Martz, takes a heavy touch, and now we'll try to race to catch it. Unable to do so this time, 87th minute. Rowdies looking to see out this victory, which will be their 14th of the season. Going to the playoffs on a high. Polk chases. By himself is Jones. One to the line. De Silva right to the hands of Fenlison. Got to get numbers forward. You need 2 goals to give yourself a shot on the weekend. Oh, Neal mishit it. Tired legs.
He did mishit that, but there's literal no movement.
Nobody there.
No movement from the strikers. You know, the Cox has got to be running in behind there. It's the last few minutes of the game. Target the space in behind. You know, the second striker coming underneath maybe. You know, needs to be more movement.
Fenlison.
It's pretty much a 4-2-4 now with just Rocha and Lewis sitting in the center of the park and trying to get the ball forward. Looks like Timbo's even gone up front now.
Does have some goals in those boots. Back to Neal. Keeping it alive. Ellis-Hayden and Zach Carroll. The area, Timbo trying to get across. Here's Cox, turns, cannot get a shot off. As the green and gold were surrounding him. And now quickly the other way, Ristoff, the goal scorer. This will eat up some more time as it's to the foot of Jones. Into the corner, waste the time.
We look back on that opportunity there, maybe going direct. They went direct. Timbo got the first ball, dropped to the second ball, and it was a fantastic block in the end, really, wasn't it, from Gorski, who's been top-notch all night.
OCB will have the throw, just a minute remaining before we see the placard. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of stoppage time coming after. Just the 3 is what we're hearing, or about a half a minute from that. Throw to the Rowdies. Remember, the MLS Lions return to Orlando City Stadium on Sunday, October 15th to face the Columbus Crew. Get your tickets today at orlandocitysc.com/ticks. The home finale, as they will finish the season on the road at Philly. Here's the return ball, looking for Martz. Got a touch. He's inside the area. Challenge over the line. We'll have a corner kick for OCB. Could be one of the last gasps here as we're about to enter stoppage time.
Yeah, good attacking play. A lot of urgency. A little up, back, and through. Gets Martz on the run. Earns a corner.
Deacon's delivery. And Da Silva earns another. You see everybody running.
Yeah, he got hold of that as well. It was a good job that Darnell King got over and blocked that. Could have been heading goal bound from Da Silva.
Delivery. This from the far post, out swinging. Polk got ahead to it. Now you got to watch the counter. No interest from the Rowdies to chase the ball out. They'll stay compact. We're in stoppage time, 3 minutes, about 2.5 to go. OCB really needs 2. And now some afters going on.
Looks like Portillo's just
laying holding him down, yeah. Trying to get the pin.
Cox, yeah. I think UFC's this weekend, isn't it?
Isn't it every weekend?
Just trying to shepherd that ball out of play in the goal kick.
And then yeah, covers for 2.
Yeah, Cox did roll him as well. Gets the cupcake there.
Well, the Rowdies fans loud and proud here as their team in great position to take all 3.
So a very successful season for the Rowdies. Looks like they'll go into second place, heading into
the weekend. They still are going to be watching what Charleston, Rochester, and Charlotte do.
And haven't seen, the Red Bulls and Tampa these last week or so as 2 very dangerous attacking teams. Yep. And I like the way how the Rowdies really have got this solid defensive unit as well. Very difficult to break down. Really OCB have had very few opportunities tonight.
And
if
they in fact get 2 games at home, it's going to be tough on anybody going in there.
Yeah.
And King. Only about 50 seconds to go. Zach Ellis Hayden, and now in. Fenlison going to be beaten, and it's going to be 2-0, and that is it. The Rowdies will come out of here with all 3. Goal for the Rowdies, and Guenzati, his 2nd of the season, at the death. And playoff dreams for OCB are no more.
Yeah, just a straightforward ball down the line. Obviously, OCB pushing up, trying to get that equalizer. Zach Ellis Hayden gets pinched. Gozzetti's worked hard all night. Puts Fenlison on his rear end and rolls that into the corner. He's worked hard tonight. Gozzetti deserves his goal.
And of course, Stuart Campbell will make the final change here. This should see out the balance of the time. OCB will finish on 42 points and stay in 9th. Oh, so tantalizingly close to a second straight playoff trip. But in the end, 2 home games to close the season, not enough to get points. And Guinzotti will come off after scoring the goal. Well, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. In their inaugural USL season, they have not only clinched a playoff spot, but a top 4 finish.
Yeah,
they'll move up to 53.
You can see the disappointment on the Orlando City players' face there. You know, it's been a long, grueling season, and very disappointing not to be able to, you know, for it to end here.
Martz giving it all he has. The Tampa Bay's 14th win of the season. Checking the watch, the referee, Jonathan Belinsky. Should be last kick here for Matt Pickens. Took all the time to get rid of it. There's the final whistle. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have come into Orlando City Stadium and taken all 3 points with a 2-0 victory over OCB. Lions now eliminated from playoff contention, and the season is over. The Rowdies looking forward to the USL playoffs for the first time. Now move up into the 2nd spot in the East. We'll try to stay there pending results on the weekend.
Yeah, you know, really tough result there tonight for Orlando City B. Tough game. You know, they fought hard. You see a disappointment there on Pierre da Silva, who's, you know, had a breakout year with his team leading 7 assists on the year. So, you know, certainly some things to look forward to for this organization and for this team moving forward. A lot of young players blooded this season and showed they can play at this level, but, you know, not quite enough tonight to take them to the playoffs.
Take a timeout, put a bow tie on it when we come back here on USL Match Center. Back at Orlando City Stadium, the faithful from Ralph's Mob making the trip over to Orlando City. Looks like they'll be celebrating with cupcakes iced in gold and green tonight as they defeat Orlando City B 2-0 here in the season finale as the Lions eliminated from USL playoff contention. As we look back at the highlights from this one here, Oliver.
Yeah, you know, not that many clear-cut chances in the game. You know, that's the first one there from Gozzetti, really the first look he gets at goal. Not able to get that on target. You know, Tampa Bay certainly had the lion's share of the clear opportunities, but here was a good one here from Martz. Ball cut back from Michael Cox to Martz and not able to get a clear contact on that ball and send it goal bound.
Had some energy with some of those subs that have were able to come. And again, there's a look at Martz putting it wide.
That's a great tackle from the captain there, Lewis Neal. You know, great season from him individually.
Came on the set piece. Schaefer Aristoff rises and fires.
Yeah,
and in the corner of the net for the first goal.
Yeah, and that's how you head the ball. You know, it's all stomach muscles, all ab muscles.
Yep. And then with Orlando City B pushed forward, one-on-one, the Uruguayan Guenzati, his second goal of the season, collects $200 as he passes go and secures the victory.
Yeah, good work from him, and this Rowdies team have certainly got goals in it from all over the pitch. Ristov, Guzzati, Joe Cole obviously as well. So, you know, solid performance from the Rowdies, and they're there celebrating the win. They're up to second place, and they know they've got a home playoff, at least in the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, before these two teams were USL combatants, it was OCB, or make that Orlando City, the purple team, not taking the best of the Tampa Bay Rowdies historically. They were 6-0, and this season, you see the match stats telling the story here in this 2-0 win. It's 2 wins and a draw against their rivals here in Orlando this year. And the possession favoring Tampa Bay, as you'd expect. The 3 shots on target, 2 of those went for goal, and they outshot OCB 14-7.
Yeah, not quite enough quality tonight for Orlando City, and you know that they'll go back and they'll rebuild, I'm sure, in the off season. And you know, this man here, Lewis Neal, certainly can keep his head high. Great performance again this season from him. You know, really anchoring the team in the center of midfield and having a great season. 3 goals, 3 assists on the year, and you know, I'm sure he'll be back next year to try and lead this team into the playoffs.
Lewis and company giving their best, and they'd salute the fans that we're here to support. But we will have to say so long on another USL season. 2017 done and dusted, at least for Orlando City B. The Rowdies will go into the playoffs. Watch this weekend on USL Match Center to find out where your Rowdies will be playing. It could be anywhere from 2nd to 4th, depending on those results. But they've clinched at least a home playoff game here with a 2-0 win tonight. It's been a fun season, Oliver. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at your Eastern Florida's game, but certainly appreciated being my partner all season long.
Always. Thanks, Jeff.
Jim Clark has been our producer. Dave Saperstein, the incomparable and affable one, who gets a lot of credit for putting on the pictures you see. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you've done. Tam Hawin has taken care of the graphics this year. Thank you very much. Glad we were able to give you the starting lineups each and every game beforehand to get those graphics in for you guys. Special shout out to Eduardo Paveo and Marcos Perez with Orlando City Soccer Club for managing the content here for our USL broadcast this season. I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long for the final time in 2017. Orlando City B falls 2-0 to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Good night from Orlando.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.